and welcome back to my channel. My name's Tristan Lowe, the channel's Health No Filter, and my guest today is Vandana Mistry. How you doing, Vandana?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Pleased to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Let's just hold this up for the camera. All right, this is your logo.
Yeah.
WellGen.
Yeah.
All right then. So, if you'll be happy for me to take that, okay. What I'm going to do, just for the time being, keep myself warm. I'm just kidding. Right. All right. Okay. Here we are then. Health No Filter, Vandana Mistry. Tell us who you are, what you do, and what your service is.
So I run a wellness clinic here in Lincoln called WellGen, and we have an incredible device called the human regenerator, which provides cell regeneration therapy and essentially allows every person to be a better version of themselves by working at the deepest level, which is your cells, to help to reduce inflammation, boost your energy levels, speed up any healing process, and ultimately, just slow down the aging process overall as well.
Right, you know the part there, Vandana, that resonated with me was slowing down the aging process. That's all I heard just then. I'm just kidding. Okay, so tell me about this device. Is it a device, a product, a service, or what?
So it's a device. So our service is people come to use the machine and have a set of sessions with us to improve an ailment, whether it's aches or pains, whether it's low energy, whether it's sleep issues, just a whole host of areas.
Yeah.
And each time someone comes to use the machine, they'll lay down on our device, which looks like a big white bed.
Yeah.
Very comfortable
Yeah.
for 30 minutes at a time, while they're treated with something called cold atmospheric plasma, which is the technology it uses.
Cold atmospheric plasma.
Yeah.
Okay, plasma. Oh, okay. Can they see this, or is it inside the machine, or what?
Yeah, you can't see it. A lot of people can feel a sensation during their session, but it's not plasma as you would get, in the blood. It's a plasma as in the fourth state of matter. So it's an ionized gas, which the machine charges up. The machine will take the atmospheric air and take out particles to create this plasma.
Right.
And it's cold because the plasma you get in the atmosphere is in the form of your lightning or your northern lights, which is at a much higher temperature, so that's why it's classed as cold.
I gotcha. Hence the term CAP, yeah?
Yes, exactly. And that plasma draws into the body like a magnet.
Yeah.
Because our bodies are positively charged, and everything that is produced in the plasma is negatively charged, so it will draw to the areas in the body that need it most. So where there's inflammation, the elements of the plasma will draw naturally to that area to help reduce inflammation.
Gotcha. Okay. What's all right? So this particular device, yeah. What does it look like? If you were explaining to someone, you didn't have a picture of it, and you were explaining, what does it look like?
So it does look quite futuristic.
Yeah.
It's
I like that.
it's a big, as I say, it's a big white bed. So there's cushions that are on top of the bed. They're very comfortable to lay on.
Okay.
There's 2 steps that you get onto, and you lay flat on your back. There's 4 steel applicators that we usually place on your hands and your feet. Or if there's an area, if someone has a bad shoulder, for example, we'll place the applicator closer to that area to draw the plasma more so there.
I see.
Yeah.
So you've got a device, you've got a part of the equipment, part of the machine, you attach to the client. Do you call them clients or patients, or what?
We call them clients.
You attach it to a client's foot, shoulder, feet, hands, wherever, and that's where it does most of its work. Is it the actual bed or the piece of equipment that's attached to the bed then?
So there's, in between the cushions, there's jets that produce this plasma. So there's little nozzles that produce this plasma, and that is released at a high pressure. So the elements that are contained within the plasma, their kind of ultimate goal is to try and get back down to the earth as quickly as possible. But because client will be laying on the bed, the only kind of route is to pass through the body, exit, and the exit point is the steel plates that we put on. So that's where you get like a kind of constant flow of all the elements that are produced in the plasma.
Are they steel plates because that acts as like an induction? Is that why, or is that why aren't they ceramic or plastic?
So they're there to act as like the earthing point. So you get that in your plug sockets and stuff. So it works in a similar way.
What does it run off in voltage wise?
I don't know that answer actually.
Okay, because if you've got a client lying on your table and you're putting steel plates on them, I'll just guess, I don't know, I'll guess that it may, do you plug it, does this device get plugged into the wall?
Yeah.
So initially it's got 240 volts coming to it, but there might be a voltage drop adapter within inside the machine to drop it down to 110 volts, 48 volts, 24 volts. because you know, I'm not an electrician or a physicist, you know, but 240 volts and water don't mix. Is there any form of water or liquid substances around the table?
No, there isn't, and that's
Okay.
that's one of the things that we need to make sure that the client isn't, you know, coming in being soaked from rain or
Yeah.
the gym and things like that,
Sure, yeah.
because we can't allow for that to.
Okay, so based on that, Vandana, I'll just guess, yeah, okay, that it does at some point then, at the very most, it's 240 volt, but we're assuming that there's something in that device which actually drops the voltage, and then of course, does it run off alternating current or direct current?
It's not direct current.
Okay, so
yeah,
AC then, yeah. Okay, it's interesting because there's I always look at things like that and I think to myself, well, it must go through when it's manufactured. Okay, where is it made, the device?
It's made in Germany, so there's a human sciences company.
I trust the Germans. With technology.
Yeah, so they've been you know, working on the technology for a long time.
Yeah.
The version that we have is actually been around since 2021.
Gotcha.
But there was a previous version where you don't actually lay down, you stand, but offers the same therapy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so what's the advantage if someone lies down then, as opposed to standing up, if the treatment's the same?
I think it's probably more comfort, if anything, because a lot of the times I'll go in after someone's session and they might be asleep, so I suppose there's that extra added therapeutic benefit of just being in a more comfortable position.
Yeah. How long does when you get a client come in, let's say Tristan comes in, I've got knocks and bangs, aches and pains all over my body from years of sports and injuries as a trainer and a therapist. I come in and I say to you, Vandana, I need my body regenerating. Okay, how long am I on the table for?
So each session lasts 30 minutes. However, for someone who has an ailment or wants to overcome symptoms like you just described, we'd always suggest a set of 10 sessions at least, because as I mentioned earlier, it works on a cellular level. So for someone to feel a tangible improvement on the outside, there needs to be a bit of work, and also if you've had a lot of injury and a lot of stress to your body for a long period of time, there's a lot of kind of unwinding to do in the first place. But we find that a lot of clients after 10 sessions are at a good place where, you know, their aches and pains have improved, they've maybe got more energy, but then they also find other areas that they maybe didn't think that they needed help with or could be better. For example, they might have more mental clarity, they might feel more calmer, because the machine works on a full body basis. You know, it works on the nervous system to kind of help shift from your fight or flight to your rest and digest. It charges up your cells, so your cell voltage is actually higher, making them stronger to operate more effectively. It helps to helps to increase the energy production within your cells, so within your mitochondria, which are your powerhouses of creating your ATP, which is the energy currency of our whole body.
The adenosine triphosphate system, the energy system.
Exactly. It helps to increase the production of ATP. And also there's a therapeutic amount of ozone as well, so that's also known to be antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. So there's all these benefits that come with using the machine. So often when clients have a set of sessions, they'll notice that area of their ailment area improving, and we usually suggest to around 4 to 5 sessions is where you start to notice that change.
Do you think that's sorry,
no, that's okay.
Do you think that a client, Dave or Carol, whoever Dave or Carol is, do you think that it takes them 4 or 5 sessions for them to you mentioned flight or fight, would you rest or digest? That to me is the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, or other way around. Okay, is it that their central nervous system takes time for them to actually adjust to it and trust it, or is it because they're actually in a state of, do they have to get derobed, or can they wear their normal clothes? Are they in a state of undress?
Yeah, so they can wear comfortable clothing. We always suggest cotton materials, natural materials, because those materials allow the plasma to pass through as well into the body. I mean, if people come in shorts and a t-shirt, that's even better. Because the direct skin contact is actually the optimal place to be on the machine. But yeah, with the you mentioned about the parasympathetic and sympathetic activity, it does really help from the nervous system perspective. And I think in this day and age, like modern way of living, we're always on the go, constantly doing a lot, and you know, a lot of us are, you know, able to manage that lifestyle and kind of keep going, but it's often what's happening at a deeper level that people maybe don't understand. And I think that's where our machine really does benefit, because it promotes that parasympathetic, that rest and digest, which is so important for your mood, for your sleep, for your energy. So when you're moving into a more balanced state between the two aspects of your nervous system, and then the central nervous system was of course like the backup system, which should only be there in rare cases, isn't it? But when you have a better regulated nervous system, naturally other elements of your body will go closer to like homeostasis, like the balance that your body's always thriving for. So it allows people to also live the lifestyle that they want to as well.
Give me an example.
So we have busy professionals that come to see us, like business owners who, you know, they work long hours, they maybe don't sleep as well as they could. They want to have hobbies, like, you know, we had a client who played golf and he had tennis elbow.
So always golfers.
Yeah, he had tennis elbow symptoms where things weren't really supporting him much, like he'd tried sauna and steam, we'd had temporary relief from it. But then he came along to see us and, you know, he found that his tennis elbow symptoms reduced from, you know, if 10 was the worst sort of pain, from like an 8 down to like down to a 3, which was much more manageable for him. But then he was noticing just the calmer sort of feeling that I mentioned. He was sleeping a bit better, and those benefits were positive for him, because I think nowadays people are thinking about their longevity and their health and wanting to you know, be as well as they can be to live the life as they wish to, and I think it's always positive to kind of adopt like a preventative approach rather than reactive, because a lot of people that have a lot of symptoms or ailments, it's just happened overnight. It's been a build-up of your cells kind of deteriorating, the inflammation building up, and I think that's where our machine helps, because when I mentioned earlier about slowing down the aging process, the reason it does that is because it helps to reduce something called oxidative stress, which is like internal inflammation you can't see, and it's the reason we age. You know, that's when there's an imbalance of antioxidants, there's harmful molecules that are produced more and more over time, and when there's a lot produced over time, it creates inflammation and illness and disease and just faster aging. So our machine's been proven to reduce that oxidative stress, so hence the slowing down the process of aging.
And again, Vandana, I mean, I'm 55 years of age now, just about. Okay, I'm 55 years young, not old. Okay, I'm hanging on to that. Okay, so what's a tangible marker? Okay, someone comes to a personal trainer and they want to lose weight, and they come in and they're 200 pounds, and 6 months later they're 170 pounds. There is physiological, you know, there's physical. It's not an ideology, it's physiology, that they are 65, 70 pounds lighter. Okay, so give me an example, something where a client can see you and there is a visible improvement that's visible to the naked eye, not how they say, not how they feel, but what you can see.
So there is a tool that we have tried, that we've used on clients, where we can kind of measure the immediate before and after impact. So it's a heart rate variability tool that we have. So that tool has a program which shows the nervous system. So, you know, your central nervous system, your parasympathetic, sympathetic activity. It shows like your stress index. It shows your heart rate and various other measures, and also biological age. So the biological age is an area that, you know, is different to your chronological age. So you have your age, like you said, 55, but depending on your lifestyle and diet and your mindset and all those things, your body's age could be higher or lower. So with this tool, we're able to see like the immediate impact before and after of a lot of measures improving. So we've had some instances where people's biological ages have reduced massively from you know, where, you know, they might be 7 or 8 years older than their actual age to kind of coming down 10 years younger, for example. However, the thing to bear in mind, and we really kind of encourage our clients, is because the machine works very well as a standalone. However, what you're eating, what you're consuming, like not even just eating, but you know, what you're watching, what you're how you're exercising, all these things actually have such a big impact on our cells. And so if we have clients who maybe don't have the best lifestyle and diet, you know, the effects may wear off because they're reversing whatever the machine has done for them.
That's very typical, though, Vandana, in I think in a wide spectrum of health services. Okay, health, well-being, whether it be the NHS to private practices, a client or a patient should, not must, is should, do things outside of the practice, outside of the centre, outside of their appointment with their therapist, their trainer, their dietitian, their dental surgeon, their OBGYN. They should do things out to complement, because the 1 hour they've got with us is the last of their concerns. An example in my line of work, if someone is looking to bring down their body fat and they train once or twice a week under our supervision, and their training's good, their recovery's good, but because the chronic long-term habit of alcohol, I wouldn't say dependency, but alcohol consumption and processed food consumption and excess calories, they didn't start that the week before they come through our door. Yeah. That could be something they've been doing for 30 years, and that takes longer to undo than someone breaking a sweat, becoming more flexible. You can become more flexible overnight. Yeah, maybe not. Obviously, someone who's wheelchair bound is not going to become an NBA basketballer. Okay, it's almost impossible. But because I think to myself, when I hear about what I consider to be new equipment or new services or new technology, because I don't know about it, that can leave a cross between ignorance and inhibition. And I'll always think, right, read up on it, where do the sources come from? Okay, talking of inhibition then, what is something that would get someone, stop Tristan, me, from going to lie on a regeneration table?
So anyone's able to use the machine. The only kind of restrictions are people with like electronic implantable devices, like a pacemaker, and anyone who's pregnant as well. Apart from that, it's safe for people to use. I mean, we have cancer patients that come to see us as well. That's actually how our journey started as well.
Right, excellent.
And we've had people from all sorts of age ranges. I think the eldest client we've had so far is 91.
Right.
So,
okay.
So from that perspective, it is safe, and actually the process that is the technology and how it kind of works in a similar way to grounding, which is like when you go outside and put your bare feet on the grass.
Gotcha.
So it's a natural process. All the elements that are produced in the plasma, your body knows what to do with it. There's no known side effects. It's non-invasive, and it's just very relaxing.
Excellent. How did you get to know and train on the regeneration table?
So we didn't come about it intentionally. It was my mother-in-law, she was re-diagnosed with palliative cancer a few years ago, and at this point she was already recovering from previous surgery, from previous chemo and radiation, so she was quite weak in herself already. And when she got this re-diagnosis, it was palliative, and we just saw a decline in her well-being. It was summer when we found out, and we thought, Christmas, she's not going to be here if it continues this way. That's kind of where we were at. And fortunately, my husband's colleague said there's a machine down in London that I've seen.
So where's London?
Yeah.
London, Loughborough or Sheffield, is it? It's never Bristol or Bolton, is it? Always London. Okay. And you went down there.
So we, and my husband's got a medical background. He's a dentist, and he did his research on the science. He spoke to the team down there, and it all made sense. And to be honest, we had nothing to lose, because conventionally there wasn't much really supporting mum.
What part of London?
So it's just off Harley Street, so it's behind the BBC building.
Oh, okay,
So we took mum down there, and she had one session on a Thursday and then a second session on the Friday.
Oh, okay. And you stay overnight?
We did. Yeah. And after her second session, bearing in mind before it was 3 to 4 minutes of walking would wipe her out.
Really? Okay.
We did over 20,000 steps around central London, up and down tube stations.
Right.
We were out till probably 10:30 that night.
Good for her.
And she did that the next day.
Crikey.
So we just saw that improvement in her, and we just said we'd keep taking her for as much as it can help her with. And each time she used the machine, her energy improved. She got more independent. Right. She was feeling less pain. She did have further treatment, radiotherapy and immunotherapy, just as palliative care. Her symptoms weren't as severe as sort of the first time round, and she didn't need as strong pain relief. And we really believe that, I mean, and that's also the reason why we brought the machine up to Lincoln, because while we were down in London we saw people from other with other ailments, you know, whether it was low energy, whether it was skin conditions.
Was it in a private practice on Harley Street?
So in Harley Street, that's actually their kind of global sales office. So they sell the machines, but then they also see clients.
Yeah.
And at the time, actually, it was the only one in the UK.
Right.
So then we acquired a machine, brought one up to Lincoln, and since we've opened up, there's I think 3 or 4 more clinics down south that have opened up.
Gotcha.
So,
does it have to be assembled on site, or does it come in one big?
Yeah, it does have to be assembled. So
who did that?
2 engineers in Germany came over to assemble it. So it took them like an hour and a half to put it all together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how we actually kind of came about it. So over the last 2 years, like we've just been helping a lot of people, whether they're sort of wanting to just prevent things from happening, or the likelihood of disease and illness, or people who are, you know, suffering in some kind of way that just want to have a better quality of life. So there's a whole spectrum of people that we do see.
Do you think a GP would refer his patient or her patient, the GP, a general practitioner, a local physician would say, oh, go and see Vandana at WellGen?
Yeah, so we have got a few private practitioners like that who do refer to us. Like we've had some clients through an orthopaedic surgeon locally that's been referred to us. We've had a couple of collaborations with other private GPs, and I think it's the mindset of each person. It depends on whether they refer or not, and it is something to be very open-minded about. When, you know, I mean, when we came across it, we thought, what is this? This doesn't make sense. How is it going to help? And the only way we kind of got to know how well it can work is seeing how it helped my mother-in-law, but then, you know, it also did help my father-in-law with major back issues that he had. So
excellent.
So that aspect is you know, something to kind of work on, but we are getting there slowly in the medical world.
I think word of mouth, like a lot of things, word of mouth for your service and your equipment, and pre, during and post aftercare as well. When word of mouth spreads on anything, it's probably your best advertisement, you know, because I'm guessing this thing's big and heavy, and you can't just put it in the back of your car and drive to someone's house.
No.
So they've got to know about your services and your profession and your skills and your knowledge in order to go. So how does John or Carol get to know about you?
So we have our website that has a lot of information. We regularly post blogs on there about different just general topics, and also how our human regenerator supports.
That's on a website.
Yes.
So how would someone get directed? You know, has it got a search engine platform where it's directing people towards it? Because would they have to go onto Google and type in regeneration table, because they wouldn't know of that, they wouldn't have heard of it?
Yeah, so it would be if they googled human regenerator Lincoln, would come up. If they googled WellGen, would come up. But we do have our social media platforms, which we are quite active on there. We will post about, you know, clients who are using the machine currently, what their experiences have been. Again, I put videos of like how it can help, and talk about the background of the technology and things. So we are active on there, and actually our growth over the last couple of years has been just through word of mouth. It's more like this year where we've put things in magazines and stuff, so people have come to us through various avenues this year, which has been quite nice. And I think it is a long journey to you know, get to a point. You know, if you compare the human regenerator to maybe things like red light therapy, which is very popular now.
And that's a phrase that people would type in because everyone's heard of it now. Or cold water plunges, red light therapy.
However, those things have had their journey to get to where they are now, years and years. We're just very early adopters of the technology, so we're doing the hard work now.
Excellent,
But saying that, it's very nice to speak to people, to tell them about the machine, because I'm so passionate about it. Chris and I are really passionate about how the technology does work and why it works. So we always encourage people to just get in touch and have a chat. It's there's no obligation there. It's just another person who knows about the machine as well. So
You have a consultation when they come in?
Yeah, so we always offer, initially before anyone wants to book in for a session, we always offer like a free telephone consultation or video call, or welcome to come over and have a trial session so we can have a chat, because it's a good opportunity to ask questions, as we get so many questions, and to kind of explain how laying on a bed can do X, Y and Z, you know. So that option is there because we know what it's like. We were on the other side at one point, so totally appreciate that aspect.
If they can see it, as in with their own eyes, separate from the website or advertising, if a potential client can come through the door and they can see it and they can see what you've got and meet you and see your services and see how professional you are and how you put yourself forward. People like to see and touch things.
Yeah.
We're built like that.
Yeah.
People like, and especially men, we like shiny objects. Women like shiny objects from what I can remember that are small and go on fingers and around necks and around wrists. Men like big chunky things with lots of bells and whistles on them.
Yeah.
You know, that's why golfers play golf. It's not for the score, it's the equipment. You know, so I think you get people through the door and get them to know, like and trust you, and then know, like and trust and see the regeneration table. I think there's a quicker or a better possibility of your return on investment for actually people to come and say, right, give me a go.
Yeah.
When I go to the annual health and wellbeing wellness show at the EXO in London, I've been going for years now, they had some tables there that were hydrotherapy.
Okay.
Essentially, it sounds like it's similar to the look of what you've got, perhaps not as, but some of them did have the actual red light therapy tubes over the top as well. I went on one, my girlfriend went on one, and at first I was a bit of a skeptic, but I thought there was different, and they were German manufactured as well. And I thought, okay, I trust the Germans, I'm gonna have a go on one. And I tell you what, while I was there could be, Vandana, a degree of placebo effect. Or I've opened myself up, this thing does this, it says that, it cost, I think the table was about £12,000 and they went up to about £17,000, £18,000. But I thought, okay, let me have a go. I felt good instantly, within a minute. Because the water can't come out. The thing has got a higher ingress protection rating on it, these equipment. They must have like a very high IP rating to stop water getting out the jets and around the therapy table. So it's all sealed in, silicone sealed and rubber sealed. But the jets are going up and down the couch underneath, working the body. So, but because I saw it and I was able to touch it and go on it, I'm sold. And had that guy at the show said, look, you've been on it for 5 minutes, I'll tell you what, okay, it's now £20 for half an hour, I'd have given him 20 quid because they were just demonstrating it at a show. Their job is to get people interested in it. How do you get that to a show?
So it requires the engineers from Germany to come dismantle it from our clinic, assemble it at the show. So there have been exhibitions where the machine has been taken. We haven't specifically done that. However, that works. You're right. It works wonders because it's there. People can try and experience it, even if it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, whatever it is. And you get the experience of what it might be like for you.
Gotcha. Okay, give us a barrier to entry. You mentioned any age, okay, other than cancer patient or a woman's pregnant, okay, and those two kind of pregnancy and metal implants. Okay, other than that, is there a barrier to someone, what would be the biggest barrier to someone not coming in and using it?
I think maybe just the kind of potential kind of skepticism about it being something new that's not heard of, because I think when you understand the actual value of what it can do for your body and for your cells, we find people are, there is no barrier from that perspective, because I'd say a lot of people with ailments that come to see us, they might have tried a whole host of things and maybe had temporary relief, and then thereafter kind of reverse back to where they might have been or not in a good place.
Yeah, it's usually the case. They've tried things before.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that is probably the biggest barrier, just the skepticism of it. And you're right, you do have to kind of be open about something, trust the process. But I think with the fact that there is science to prove that the technology works in the way it does, it does improve the parasympathetic activity, it does reduce oxidative stress, and it does increase the ATP production in your cells. There's those elements that we can prove, and we have studies to show that.
Okay.
That it helps, but then also we have a lot of testimonials from people who have used it, and actually a few people have come with the skepticism, not really sure what to expect, and think, oh, you know, I'm only getting like 30 minutes of relaxation, but actually then as they see over time small changes, you know, they're almost they're like won over with the machine of what the possibilities are.
Gotcha.
So I'd say probably the skepticism is there, and that's why I'm working in WellGen full time. I left my accountancy career to do this full time, because I know there is a lot of education to do, and a lot more people to be made aware of the technology, because if you don't know about it or you don't see how it can help, then naturally people are not going to want to take it up as an option for themselves. So
previously to that you were an accountant, chartered accountant? Or?
Yeah, chartered. So I did. I studied after university while I was in a grad role for like 2 or 3 years.
A country?
I studied in Sheffield University, and then had a graduate job in Nottingham, and then I did all my exams through there, and literally my last exam was a few months before I got married, so it was like quite a few stressful years, but a lot of hard work and effort.
But fruitful as well. Stressful but fruitful.
Definitely.
And it's possibly a good stress as well. Education and becoming a professional in a chosen subject, whether you're a chartered accountant or a WellGen wellness expert, both of those take time, effort, dedication, sacrifice, highs and lows. I've been there myself, you know, on different professions, but I've been there myself. And the highs are, I think the highs are, for me, Vandana, is a client coming in and getting better. We can give it fancy terms. We don't talk about mitochondria and adenosine triphosphate 80, because it means nothing to them. If a client has got poor posture and 3 weeks later, 6 weeks later, their posture's better, and it's tangible and manageable and it's sustainable, client will say, go to good condition, go and see Tristan, go and see the team. And I think with we talk about, because it's your knowledge as well, it's not just the table, because if that's the case, then that table could be in the middle of a car park with a button entry system to go and lie on it. People would figure out what to press, or there's got to be an on switch somewhere. So it's your knowledge and profession of not just the regeneration table, but anatomy and physiology and the body. Okay, it's a subject that I'm fascinated with, and I'm still learning. I've been in my line of work 17 years now, and I'm still learning about the body. I'm learning something today. Okay, cost. There's a cost for everything, and I think when there's a cost for something, personal training outside London, you're looking at anything between £35 and £50 an hour outside London. There are places in London charge up to £200 an hour, usually in Pimlico, Knightsbridge, you know, Mayfair. It kind of gives it away, you know, it's in the name. And I think that sometimes necessity is the mother of invention. People will walk through the door and pay what we charge when they've tried something else. They've tried fad diets, they've tried yo-yo diets, they've tried diets or exercises that are targeted to men or women. Okay, there are some specific exercises that are more beneficial for a woman than a man, pelvic floor. But other than that, you know, I don't believe in the pink dumbbell routine. You know, if a dumbbell's pink, it's not for girls, it's for anyone. Okay, so we charge up to £42 an hour for our services. Okay, and with that, they come in, they get our profession, they get the building, they get to park outside, but it's never the building, Vandana. It's not the dumbbell, the barbell, the resistance band, the therapy couch, the showers, the towels. It's not that, it's us. We are the service. We've got all this equipment in our building, top and bottom, but it's actually us as therapists and trainers why people come. Because they could buy all the equipment themselves. That word Amazon, it's a gift and a curse. People buy equipment, put it in their house, you know what happens? It collects dust. Next thing you know, it's on eBay, or it's going back to Amazon. Now, they're not going to buy a regeneration table and stick it in their bathroom, are they? Or are they?
Well, people can buy it for personal use, so there are a lot of homes that are sold the machine for their personal use. It's quite a large investment, but that is a possibility.
Okay.
However, we have it as a standalone clinic at the minute. So.
Right. Okay. A price. Give us a price for half an hour.
So we have a few prices. So for single session, so if you just want to come for one session, give it a go. It's £200.
Okay.
For 5 sessions as a package, it's £750. So it's £150 a session.
Yeah.
But for 10 sessions, which is what we usually recommend most people to do, is £1,000. So it's £100 a session.
So it's basically half price if they book 10 or 50% off.
Yeah.
Okay. What What's the, all right, don't tell me if you don't want to tell me, okay? Okay, what does one of these machines cost to buy? Blink if it's really expensive, or don't blink. Okay, it's really. Well, actually, that's kind of reassuring to know, because if it costs £50, I'd have one.
Yeah.
Everyone would have one. And if you pay a lot of money, like at a dental practice, the machinery that I see in a dental surgeon, I look at it and think that's shiny and heavy. That must be expensive. Yeah. You ever see the movie Jurassic Park? Yeah. Do you know the kid picks up the binoculars and he says, "Are they heavy?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, put them back. They're expensive." Same thing. Yeah. You've got a piece of equipment that is, I forget that it's big and shiny, but the fact it's heavy and it's been assembled by German engineers who've come over to England. Okay, just common sense tells us it's not a toy. It's a service that's built. It's a service that's built inside a machine to make the body better. You know, if you go for surgery at a private clinic in, I don't know, let's just say Harley Street, you know, or somewhere in Nottingham. You know, my mum's going to get her knee replacements next year. My mum's 79, she's having a bilateral knee replacement, 4 to 6 month gap in between. It's £15,000 a knee, okay? They're going to pay it. Or mum, you spend the next 10 years in purgatory, not being able to get off the chair. So my mum and dad are going to spend £30,000 on Mr. Surgeon at Claremont or wherever up in Sheffield, putting 2 titanium knees that are going to be there when my mum's gone, if you know what I mean, because they last 20 to 25 years. Yep. So she's going to spend £30,000 on having better knees. They're going to replace the knees, which is going to improve the quality of her life, hopefully between the age of 80 and 90, because the offset of not paying £30,000 to have her knees fixed is far worse. Yeah, that could be 10 years of physiological and emotional purgatory because she can't get out of the chair properly anymore. My mum's as thin as a rake as well. She's got a weight bearing issue, but it's not because she's overweight. It's advanced stage of arthritis. Okay, so £30,000 for 2 sets for her knees to be better. Okay, so suddenly your £1,000 for 10 appointments at your place to be better sounds like it's cheap. Not cheap, but value for money. Would you say that?
Yeah, I do think so, just because again it's understanding what you're getting out of that therapy and you know how it works, the way it works. There isn't another device that works in that way on a full body basis as well. Yeah. So you know, from that perspective, it is very unique, and you know, we've tailored our prices to the location that we're in as well. Yeah. However, when people see the benefits of where they can get to, it's actually, we have people that didn't think they could get to the place that they get to. So I think that's the most valuable aspect. Your health is your wealth, you know, and I think if we can help people with that perspective, that aspect of their life, then you know it's priceless, really. Excellent.
I think if someone's paying, they come 10 times, a block of 10, and they pay for their 10, it's £1,000. Okay, what is the gap? Is it one a week for 10 weeks, or twice a week for 5 weeks, or do you look at the client and say, right, John, you should be in every day for 10 days side, or how does that work?
Yeah, so if people have a symptom that they want to improve, we always suggest begin with 2 sessions a week as a minimum for maybe the first 4 or first 6, because that shorter gap in between your sessions, you're getting kind of a cumulative build of the charge of your cells in the body. And thereafter, the client will know, you know, am I seeing an improvement sooner? Is it taking me a bit longer? Do I want to maintain that frequency as well? So that's like the most ideal situation. However, you know, it does depend on people's work life and how they can fit it in. So we're flexible from that perspective, but the optimal time is 2 to begin with, and thereafter usually people will come once a week or once every other week, or maintain the frequency. But usually at the end of those 10 sessions, people feel a noticeable improvement in themselves, and along with the other benefits that they feel, they know by that point, understand why we say that it's working on a deeper level and it's working on your whole body. That they might go on to a bit of a maintenance thereafter as well. And usually our clients who come back as on a maintenance package, they'll get a set of 10 sessions, but they'll spread them through the year. They'll come maybe every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, however they sort of see fit, because each time you are using the machine, your cells are getting the benefit, so they're being charged up, they're getting all those elements that I mentioned earlier. So and actually if anyone is able to come every day, that's even perfect. Like
Really?
we've had clients.
Could someone do that once a day for 10 days straight?
Yeah, you can actually use it more than once a day. Like when my mother-in-law was going to London, she used to have 2 on one day, 2 the next day, so it should have 4 in 2 days.
Right.
And we've had clients that have travelled from like Derby, Bradford, quite far away, and Leicester as well.
Right.
And they've done that. They've done 2 in a day just because it saves the travel time.
Sure.
But you're still getting that benefit.
Yeah. Okay. What? Where do you see yourself, Vandana, as you as an individual, but WellGen as well? Okay. There's overlap.
Yeah.
But you as an individual, okay, and WellGen, say 3 years from now.
Well, 3 years from now, I think I'd love for us to, because at the minute we have our clinic set up in a room in our house. I'd love to have our clinic, WellGen, in like a more professional sort of space with a nice waiting area with potentially some other therapies, because as I mentioned earlier, there is other aspects of health that give a better overall outcome to how well you can live. So whether it's nutrition, whether it's exercise, mindset, all those bits. So a standalone clinic would be amazing for us to take the human regenerator, where potentially looking at other technologies that could help, and for us to have like a wellness centre where people come to just live healthily and be as well as they can be.
They're springing up, and they have been for about 20 years, I'd say. Could be longer, but I'm going to say about 20 years. When you say wellness centres, wellness clinics, and actually I think there's probably one opens up every hour as we speak across the country, and quite often they can be, because I look at some of them, okay, I'm not talking about the regeneration table. That's what you've got is something completely different and clearly an advanced piece of science and engineering. I'm talking about John or Carol that finds a room, opens it up, some fluffy cushions, okay, and it's a wellness centre. And I always say, what's your background? Not how many cushions have you got, not how many, if you've got free parking, okay, that's that on. What is John or Carol's who opens up a wellness centre overnight? What is their background? Do they come from a sporting background, anatomy and physiology background? Have they got a doctorate, a diploma, a degree? Okay, if they've got that, then they've got my attention, because it's very easy. For someone, I saw it a lot noticeable on social media during and just after the 2020 lockdown. You'd have someone that worked in a tyre shop before lockdown, and after lockdown they were a professional in another subject matter that I always thought, forgive my history, but surely you've got to study for that. There was a lot of people that became wellness experts overnight, during and after the lockdown. And the reason I think it is because it's quite an attractive, it's quite a, for want of a better phrase, it's quite a sexy industry to get into. Because it sounds like it's always going to be fun and you're going to have nice things and nice people. But I think that's the top of it, I think if someone has got an interest in the body, they've got an interest in anatomy, physiology, sports science, holistic therapy, conventional medicine, right across the pharmaceuticals, okay, that to me is the foundation, not the room or the device or the building. It's people. And that's why people go to see therapists, I think sometimes, because if you go and see a chiropractor, and a chiropractor is in a big all singing and dancing fancy clinic, but the chiropractor's manner and treatments are poor. And it's subjective, but there's a threshold, Someone would go and see a chiropractor that is in a warehouse, a cold warehouse on an industrial estate, if their manner's good and the treatments are good. It's not, the fancy stuff I think is the add-ons. It's got to be the person that is delivering the service, that is delivering the robust evidence as well. And also people buy from people. You can buy, what's your favourite brand of a car? What do you drive?
Well, we've got BYD, but my first car was a BMW, so I did.
Anything beginning with B then?
Yeah.
Right, you mentioned you drive a BYD. Build your dreams.
Yes.
Now, fun fact, I'd never heard of that until 2 months ago. And I was in China in October, and every third car, it's less than that, was a BYD. And since I've come back, everyone's got one but me. Everyone's got a BYD car. I've seen them all over Lincoln, Nottinghamshire. Okay, so, and you trust that because it's the engineering and how it looks? Okay, but did you buy it online or from a dealership?
Went to the dealership.
Okay, and where was the dealership?
In Lincoln, actually.
In Lincoln, okay. And did you deal, was it a guy who was at the front with his little pen in his pocket, he showed you around the car, did you buy on the day or did you go back the following day?
I think we went back after having a think,
Okay, did you go with your husband?
Yes.
Okay, Who made the decision to buy it?
He did.
Okay. And I'm guessing your husband, not just the car, but weighed up the car salesman as well, or the car saleswoman. Was it a man or a woman?
It was a guy. I think it was like, as you say, how it came across, like through where you were buying it from.
Yeah, because you can buy one online. You can have one delivered.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a dealership to kick the tyres and have a test drive, and you think, well, I'm not buying it from you because I can get it $1,000 cheaper, like for like online. People buy from people. They know, like, and trust people. The shiny building, the nice car are the add-on. That's what you go away with. But it was, 3 years' time from now, ideally, yourself and your husband, you want to go back to the dealership and that same guy be there again. Yeah. As long as the handover was smooth as well. Yeah. And he filled it. Well, he's not going to fill it with fuel. Is it electric car?
It's electric.
So he's not going to fill it with a full tank of fuel, is he?
No.
You didn't even get that. Did you get any mats in it?
No, we didn't. We got half the battery full.
Half a battery, yeah. How do you know? Because it said on the day.
Yeah, it just said 50%.
Yeah, they like nice cars. I might try and get one in a couple of years, but we'll see. Okay, now, all right, so first thing then, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, but before we do that are not related to regeneration table. Okay. It's the human side, the personal side of you. Yeah. You'd like to tell our listeners and our viewers, in clear as day, where they can find you, your sites, your websites, your domains, everything.
So our website is www.wellgen.uk. Our Facebook and Instagram is at WellGen UK, and you can give us a call. Happy to have a chat with anyone on 07393 779 294, and you can drop us an email as well at manager@wellgen.uk.
Excellent. Okay, Vandana Mistry from WellGen UK. Vandana, I think I'm half sold. Yeah, because no one's 100% on anything. Yeah. I'm half sold. I'd like to come and look at it.
Yeah, you can
take a
come
look
and
at
have
it.
A go.
I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested in what yourself and your husband have actually done, has put your time, effort, thought, knowledge, and of course hard-earned money into. And anyone who does that, whether they're regeneration table or they sell apples for a living, they've got my attention. Yeah, because business is not easy. Business takes time, effort, years, and sometimes a little bit of good luck, yeah? All right, so, away from that, all right then, let's question time, 3 questions. What's your go-to movie? When you watch at Christmas, what are you going to watch?
What am I going to watch? Well, I think at Christmas time, Home Alone's like an easy one to go to.
Oh,
you know what's going to happen, but you always get a laugh out of it.
The first one with Macaulay Culkin as a kid, Home Alone. Yeah. Okay, all right, what's your go-to destination? You get a free ticket tomorrow for yourself, your husband, or your family, all expenses paid, 2 weeks from Heathrow Airport. Where are you going?
Well, if it's a one-time thing, probably somewhere that I've been before because I know it's good.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I'd probably say Sri Lanka because we went for our honeymoon and we were pleasantly surprised. It was amazing. People were really nice, food was amazing. Yeah. The scenery and everything was lovely as well.
That's interesting. So, if all expenses paid for yourself and your husband, have you got children?
No, not yet.
So, okay, so first class flights for 2 as well. You'd go somewhere you've been before because you know, like, and trust it.
Yeah.
There you go. And you remember the people that served you, or at least looked after you, the hospitality. Okay, so your favourite film? Are you saying that's your favourite film of all time?
No, I do like quite a few films. I'm also a bit of a Bollywood fanatic as well.
Oh, so, Bollywood?
Yeah, so there's quite a few. But I think, if it was a Hollywood film, I know I always find White Chicks a very funny film.
Oh, okay, it's interesting that. Now, I'm dating myself here now, I'm showing my age, because when I was at school in North London, was it called Bollywood then in the 70s and 80s? I can't remember.
Probably.
But there was an actor that the Indian guys, I think they're the Indian guys in my class, used to talk about, called Amitabh Bachchan.
Oh yes, legend.
They said he's like their James Bond.
Yeah.
They said you've got Sean Connery and Roger Moore, we've got Amitabh. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
Is he still with us?
Yeah.
Right.
And he still works.
He's got to be in his 60s, 70s.
He's in his 80s.
I bet he's been on the regeneration table.
Well, if we can get one to India, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so, and you said White Chicks as well.
Yeah.
Okay. You really are lowering it now. You've gone from the heights of Bollywood, Amitabh Bachchan, to Macaulay Culkin in an iconic role, right down to White Chicks. That's straight to DVD movie, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just ones that I can remember that
if I was funny.
what I'd watch.
So you'd watch that film on the flight to Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, if you could have another professional career tomorrow morning, you wake up tomorrow morning and you are Vandana Mistry, different profession, different background, because you come from accountancy and physiology, what would it be?
Oh, that's difficult. So I think maybe some form of performing or dancing, because when when I was growing up, me and my sister, we learned traditional Indian classical dance.
Okay.
And we also used to take part in like community shows and do
Right.
performances and stuff. And it's something that I just enjoy. It makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
So maybe something in that kind of area.
Would that be a hobby or profession?
I think it could be a profession because, you know, my husband's always saying to me, like, why don't you start a class that you can do in an evening and teach people?
Okay.
And that part could be quite interesting. But
Yeah.
as I say, like, me and my sister growing up, like, we both used to kind of come up with things for a performance, you know, so using our kind of creative mind side of things. So yeah, probably that as well.
I don't know anything about the traditional. Would it be called Indian dancing, Bollywood dancing, or Gujarat dancing? What?
So the type of dance that I studied is called Kathak dancing.
Kathak.
Yeah.
Have I pronounced that right?
Yes.
You may want to look up across the ocean. You may want to look up a woman called Phyla Twab. Do you know who she is?
No.
She is the world's leading choreographer.
Oh, okay.
She is what Elon Musk is to electric cars. She is, Phyla Twab.
Okay.
Quite a character as well, yeah. If you Google her and watch her, what she doesn't know about dancing and performing at the highest level, no one knows. Yeah. Okay, so I think there's a you've got something, Vandra, yourself and your practice, your services. I think from what I understand, it's about getting people to know, like, and trust your service and find out where you are and what you do. So what I'm happy to do is, once I've gone and just seen it with my own eyes, I'd like to say, okay, right, I can think of someone that I think would actually, where your services and your products and your knowledge would be beneficial. Excuse me. That's not a promise, that's a thought at the moment, okay? And I'm interested. I'm going to read up more about it because I do like to actually understand, because I think as trainers and therapists, you know, our job, our profession is to learn why we earn. Have I said that in the right order?
Yeah.
Okay. Learn why we earn, because we don't know it all. There's always something I can learn and ask about, and I may not need to have that information until one day I do. You know, information and knowledge is only good, for want of a better word, when it's applicable and it's in context, at the right time. And there could be a time in the future where I think of a client that's been on our treatment room couch for sports massage, or in the training room for rehab sessions, and I'll think, okay, John or Carol, I'm just using those two names, there isn't a John or Carol, could actually have some benefit, or I think they could, from your services. So, all right, well, here we are then. We're fast approaching the end of 2025. What does 2026 look like?
2026, what does it look like? I don't know.
Inundated with clients?
Yeah, more clientele, more momentum, more people that we're able to support, and I think just from my perspective and our perspective, I think that's like the biggest reward. You know, although the last couple of years have been challenging, it's been worth every minute, because it's just the outcomes that we get. It's just, you know, if you can help someone, it's the greatest thing that you can do. So
agreed.
Would love to just help as many more people as we can, and just spread the word of this technology that we have, which is very, very unique.
Excellent. I'd like to say good luck with that, Vandana. All right, it's Tristan Lowe, the channel's Health No Filter. We're in December 2025, and it's been my pleasure today to bring Vandana in, and I'd like to say work well and hard, and long hours, because we've got to put it in, haven't we?
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we just had to work 2 hours a day. And of course, Vandana's mentioned the socials, we can catch her, and I'm happy to put the links into it as well. So this video will go out in the next few days. It's been my pleasure. From me, Tristan, Health No Filter at good condition, and
Vandana, thank you so much for having me.
Until the next time, good luck, and you're going to where next week?
We're going to India. Yeah.
Excellent.
So
lucky lady. Yeah, family holiday?
Yeah, family holiday.
Excellent. All right then.
Spend Christmas out there.
All right then. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music and Apple Podcasts. Until the next one, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and stay healthy.